Welcome back. It's Dr. Jen Verboni, better known as DocJenFit, your personal doctor of physical therapy. And I want to talk about a flared rib cage. A lot of times this happens just due to posture. It could be a postpartum thing where you feel like your ribs are automatically a little bit wider since they needed to expand. So there's different instances where we might notice more of this flared rib cage. And I want to talk about the muscle particularly that's helpful to address this. Now, I do want to note that I am 3 months postpartum as I'm showing you this video. So you're going to see my own core and how I'm doing with healing as I'm talking you through this. Now, I want to hear from you as well. So drop in the comments below any core related questions that you have, whether it's questions as we're going through this video and what you're feeling within your body, or different core related questions that you want me to make future videos of. And don't forget to hit that subscribe because that's where all my videos are going to continue to show up for you, whether it's exercise related, diagnoses, pains within the body. We have it all here on DocJenFit. Now, I'm going to use this band, and this is one of our long resistance bands that we have within the Optimal Body Therapy Kit. So you can find the link somewhere to that as well. And this is just going to help to give feedback to our rib cage. And then the muscle that I really want to target here is our external oblique. So our external oblique is going to come from that rib cage and then cross down toward that hip bone. And so if we can start to activate that external oblique and activate both of those external obliques together, well, then you can see how coming from a flared rib cage, that's going to help to drop down and activate throughout that core. Now, I do have a video on a full core contraction, so we're not just overutilizing the rectus abdominis in the middle or those obliques, so that you can find that video as well. So I'm going to show you my core that I'm working with here. And we're going to take this band and wrap it around the rib cage from the back and then cross it over. Okay. So this is really good feedback here as I take a breath in, as I take a breath out, of what's happening around that rib cage. And if I can start to get this lower edge of my rib cage moving better, well, then I can start to feel what's happening and utilize those muscles to assist in that deep contraction and that movement of that rib cage. So if I wrap this around my rib cage here, I have the mic pack that might be limiting me just a little bit. We're going to try to work around that. Okay. So I'm going to take this and wrap it around that low rib cage here. And I want to just practice breathing. Okay. So taking a deep breath in. Can I feel that expand? Taking a breath out. Can I feel it compress? If I can start to get better at this expansion and compression just with my breath, well, then I know that as I'm starting to do exercise and I'm getting that good exhale, I'm already going to be activating through my obliques. Okay. So utilizing this, taking a deep breath in, expand, breath out, drop it down. Now, keep that exhale with that dropped rib cage and take a breath by keeping that contraction there. I still get that rib cage to move, but it's not expanding quite as much, and I'm still holding in on that contraction. Okay. So now we want to take the band and we're going to do a different exercise to kind of find those obliques. So I'm going to hold this band out in front of me, and then I'm going to take my hand underneath and just pull down and across. So I want to think of this rib cage coming down toward this hip bone. So I'm going to come across. And I'm not necessarily moving from my chest too much, but I am thinking of a slight rotation as I move that rib cage down and toward my opposite hip bone. So as my hand's coming down toward that hip bone, my rib cage is going to follow. And that helps to engage through that oblique. So I find that rib cage and I'm pulling it down. You could try it with the other side as well. So holding it up, or you could tie this onto like a pole or something steady, like in a rack. And I'm going to take this opposite hand and I'm going to come from this side of my rib cage now down to this hip bone. And I can even hold it here, take some deep breaths. And I notice that I get a little bit more work through those obliques. And you might even notice that you feel that rib cage resting down without contracting in the stomach at all. Because ultimately, we don't want to walk around with a contracted stomach, but we do want to help guide that rib cage so that it understands how to come down a little lower and not rest in that expanded position. So hopefully those were 2 helpful tips that you can start to integrate to understand how to move that rib cage a little bit better, how to get that to rest down naturally a little bit more over those hip bones. And if you have any more questions, please drop them in the comments and let me know. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.